Yo, I'm back. I tried to quit and it worked out well for a good 2 months, but my crippling addiction of making videos brought me back to slaving away and Premiere making videos that you guys love. Now before I begin, I just wanted to say that GTA is not coming back. I don't even know why I made that video, that was just a bad idea overall. To be honest, I don't even remember making that video, I must have been in some kind of fever dream or some shit. But anyways, with that, let's begin Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. Now it's been quite a while since I've played this game, so I think we all need a refresher on the Dishonored timeline. Well, mainly Billy Lurk's timeline since she's the main character of Death of the Outsider. Spoiler alert. Lurk basically started as a homeless pickpocket at a young age when she was found by Dowd and trained to be an assassin. She was part of the plot to kill the Empress in Dishonored 1, and she began to think that Dowd was kind of a bitch after the Empress's assassination. Because of this, she gave information to Delilah and nearly overthrew Dowd, as revealed in The Knife of Dunwall. Fortunately, she changed her mind and Dowd told her to fuck off and sail somewhere. On a bit of an unrelated note, Dowd went on to save Emily Kaldwin from being killed by the Empress and the Brigmore Witches, banishing Delilah to the void. It was kind of just delaying the decision though, because the bitch came back for vengeance in Dishonored 2 and shit got messy for a while. But again, that's all unrelated to Death of the Outsider. If you want to go see that lore, go watch my other videos, dumbass. Let's get back to Billy. After the Knife of Dunwall, she disappeared on the sea for 15 years until she returned to Dunwall in Dishonored 2, going by the name Megan Foster. She helped Emily Kaldwin throughout the game, giving her guidance and shit. Then she revealed to Emily that she was in on the plot to kill her mom. And you know, that one probably should have stayed in the drafts. We don't really have to tell each other everything. And now that we're caught up with Lurk's story, we can finally get to the actual game. The game began with a recap of events, which is unnecessary because I literally just did that. Like, come on Dishonored, keep up. I opened my eyes to a familiar spot, one where I'm writing in my little dream journal on the dreadful whale. I leave my room after a good writing session and I have a little plot revealing soliloquy while looking at a map of Karnaca. According to Billy, she's been stalking Dowd for months, trying to find him. A little bit creepy if you ask me. Nonetheless, her first major lead to find Dowd are some rumors about him being forced to fight in an underground boxing ring in the Albarca Baths. Anyways, I leave the ship after some time and start eavesdropping on some rats. According to the game, this is an ability that Lurk has, but this is most likely just the first sign that she has schizophrenia. I listened to them for as long as I could, but when they wouldn't shut the fuck up, I chopped them up. After the Great Rat Massacre, I rode on over to... I couldn't even tell you honestly, all the places in Dishonored are literally the exact same. And it's clear that I'm rusty at the mechanics because, well, just look at this shit.
If you say so. No way.
Alright, in my defense, that dude was slipping around me at light speed. He must be a fucking Olympic acrobat on the weekends or some shit. Oh fuck me, the rats are back at it again. Eventually, I reached some neutral ground where I could relax and enjoy the sights. I do love myself some filth and grime every once in a while. After taking some Polaroids of the cozy little town, I entered the Albarca Baths, where I was met with a moody hostess that did not greet me very politely. Now, let's do something about that long face. Once I adjusted her attitude accordingly, I went downstairs to find Dowd kept in this weird fucking energy prison that weakened him. I made some small talk with the employees of the boxing ring until I overstayed my welcome a bit by pickpocketing a man. Although I believe they did overreact just a bit. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that throwing glass objects at people doesn't help my situation either. It seems like they have a watertight defense at this place and I'm gonna have to start thinking outside the box for solutions. While I was searching around the room, I found the control box to Dowd's power suppressor and found that I could turn it off if I found a key to unlock the thing. I eventually realized that I was gonna have to get a little dirt under my fingernails and started fucking shit up. I raised some eyebrows by shooting a woman in the head, but after sending 2 people in that I swiftly took care of, they went along with their day. After all, people dropping dead from rogue arrows is a common occurrence in this part of the city. Unfortunately for them, they dropped their guard a little too low and I butchered them. I was even having a nice little slow dance with one of their top halves when some rude bitch decided to ruin my moment. After my rampage was over, I headed upstairs to find my target, Jeanette Lee, talking to one of her besties. I wanted to pull a little prank on her, and so I threw a chloroform bottle at the two. I think it's safe to say that these two have been successfully trolled. I also collected her key and saved Dowd from his little predicament. And I don't want to be rude, but I'm not gonna lie, the guy's looking rough. He looks like he's done nothing but play League of Legends and drink straight piss for 6 months. He told me we needed to talk somewhere else, so I stepped about 6 feet from our previous location, which seemed to do the job. He then told me he needed my help for one last job. That job was to kill the Outsider himself. In other words, Dowd expects me to help him kill an actual fucking god. I'm not sure how that's supposed to happen, but I'm not doing anything else this summer, so why not? It should be a fun little project to keep me busy for a bit. I went back to the dreadful whale, writing away in my little journal until Billy Billy's carpal tunnel began to flare up. The outsider decided to use this moment of weakness to enter my room uninvited and started talking shit. He then straight up took like 75% of my arm and left. I guess this doesn't bother Billy because she was just chilling, continuing to ramble on in her room. I then talked with Dowd about the event and he told me he found a way to kill the outsider after years of searching. So the reason he got caught is because of a gang called the Eyeless, and the Eyeless have a relic. More specifically, the knife that created the outsider. And that's it. That's our lead. He literally has no evidence that this will do us any good, but I guess it's our only hope. He then tells me to find out who leads the Eyeless and to go to the Upper Syria district to do so. After Dowd poured all that information on me, he peaced out and went back to sleep. After arriving at my destination, I found out that I had acquired some new abilities from my altercation with the outsider. One of these abilities is Displace, which allows me to teleport. Another is Foresight, which lets my body stay in one place while my soul leaves my body or some shit as I travel around as a phantom. And finally, my last ability is Semblance, which lets me take on the face of another person. As I was creeping around this little neighborhood, I found an apartment owned by Elena Ray, who I obviously killed. I mean, how couldn't I kill someone listening to shit like this? I then found a note from some guy named Sean Yun talking about some secret knock they had like some fucking middle schoolers. Anyways, this information is vital to my mission unbeknownst to me at the time, but basically this would allow me to enter Yun's house when I got there. Why do I need to go to Yun's house, you might ask? Well, after the visit to Elena's house, I went to the Red Camellia, a spot where all the cool eyeless kids get tatted up. Here, I found one of the employees working below minimum wage and I slaughtered her without much of a thought. On the employee's corpse, I found an angry letter from Elena telling the employee that she had to close shop today and then she had to clean up, suggesting that she was the owner, or at least the manager of the place. I also found a welcoming thing at the front of the shop that stated that Elena founded the place, so that kind of confirms my little theory. I then went to the back of the shop where I found a tattoo gun and said fuck it and gave myself an eyeless tattoo. Why? I mean, just listen to Billy.
I always wanted to join a cult. Alright, if this is what it takes. Don't flinch.
I guess I'm a cultist now. I also went to Elena's office where I found a list of names that were to be tattooed. Two of these names are Ivan Jacobi, who lives nearby, and Sean Yun. And that is why the secret of the knock is important. Well, I think it's time to pay Mr. Yun a visit and find out what the hell he's up to. But before that, I had to go on another killing spree because I was starting to get a little antsy. I then entered the shop in the middle of a battle where Lurk said one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard.
Someone, anyone!
Welcome, welcome. Feel free to look around.
Just looking around.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Billy? Like, actually, what makes you think you can say some stupid shit like that? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Sorry, that just upset me quite a bit. I panicked after embarrassing myself and threw a glass vase at the shopkeeper before running away, running into a detective in the process.
Sounded like broken glass.
What?
You're not supposed to be.
Yeah, no shit it sounded like broken glass, you fucking troglodyte. After that whole disaster, I had to get my mind off things somehow, so I finally went to Sean Yun's house, disguising myself as his lover. Unfortunately, it seems as if the maid saw past my shenanigans and I had to put her down. But on the plus side, I gained access to Yun's house. I looked around the house for a while, eating most of the food in the kitchen because I'm a little rat and stabbing most of the guards. I also tried out these electrifying bolts that stun people instead of killing them because I was feeling a little merciful. Clearly, this guard wasn't having any of that and ran through the room to see who was shooting at his fellow soldiers. Did you catch him? If I slow the video down, you can actually see him right here just before he gets to me. I also killed one of Yun's butlers who was fucking zooming through the halls, and just listen to this shit. Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck kind of noise is that? I can't tell if he's trying to clear his throat or swallow some dick. Nasty. I reached Yun's vault after some time and opened it by playing one of his dogshit songs. In the vault, I found a little bone charm, a safe key, some ammo I guess, and a fucking gold bar. Like, a whole ass gold bar. You know how much I could sell that shit on eBay for? Like, at least $80, maybe $90 if I really pushed it. Anyways, after I stuffed the gold bar in my ass, that sneaky scoundrel Yun caught me staring at him and I had to finish the job. I also got what I really came for, which was the safe key, and started to go to Ivan Jacobi's house. Well, I actually just found Jacobi himself by exploring around and not in his house. I found found him bitching and moaning to some underpaid soldiers, and he started to recite a speech about some boring shit. I wanted to spice things up for just about everybody and add in some excitement to the event, so I shot one of the guards in the throat and he took it like a fucking champ. Jacoby was the first one to arrive at the scene, and after I electrified him, this guard did not give a single shit and kept walking unfazed. He's either fed up with Jacoby's bullshit or he's extremely nearsighted. I took a key off of Yvonne's corpse, decapitated him, and made my way back to his house. Once I got there, I unlocked it with his key and began to make myself at home. I mean shit, the dude's dead, this stuff isn't going anywhere. It would honestly be rude to not take it, a waste even. Inside his house, I found a similar letter that Yun got from Michael's bank, stating that the Yun Jacoby joint account had its locks changed and both of them would be getting new keys, which were now in my possession. And what would they be keeping in that vault that would require them to have 2 keys at once to open it? I think it's safe to say that the knife to kill the outsider is in there, and if we're really lucky, some more gold bars. I'm in this for the money, not the whole kill a god thing. That's just a byproduct of profit. But whether I succeed in killing the outsider or not, it seems like I'm gonna have to get my hands messy, because I got a bank to rob.